is the John Denver official porch. You see, one of the things I like to do up in Aspen in the evening after dinner is Ann and I like to go out and sit on the porch, watch the sun go down. Sometimes we have some friends up, drink a little Colorado Kool-Aid, look at the stars, watch the world go by. And tonight I'm going to get a chance to sit and talk with a man who brought a smile to the face of America. And that's Will Rogers. And I get to do that because of James Whitmore. Now, I'm sure all of you folks are familiar with Mr. Whitmore from the times that you've seen him on television or in the movies. But I don't know if all of you have seen the stage show that he does where, for 2 hours, he is Will Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Whitmore.
Much obliged. John, I just wanted to see you and chat with you. You know, John, how's the old country doing now? You know, I ain't been around since 1935.
Well, Will, I think when you get right down to it, things are pretty much the same.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, it could be worse. We have a gasoline shortage now, an energy crisis, and it really couldn't have come at a worse time. You know, I think that scientists had almost figured out a way for us to avoid walking to our cars.
Of course, I was telling folks in them days, I said, now look, folks, what are we going to do with all them filling stations when they become obsolete?
Far out.
I really did. And, of course, I had a little start on the problem. I seen a filling station down in Texas many years ago that had already been converted into a chili parlor. But, of course, that wasn't a real conversion because you could still get gas there, see? No, listen, that's hitting below the belt. There's no question about it.
Well, you know what I can't figure out is if there's no gas, how come traffic is so bad?
Traffic, my golly, traffic. How can they call it traffic when it ceases to move? I don't understand. I had a solution for the traffic problem back when I was around. I said that no car should be allowed on the road until it was paid for. Well, if they listened to me, we'd have turned the boulevards into playgrounds overnight.
Overnight? You know, Will, we got a thing called women's liberation now. The women are really pretty much on the march.
Well, they were shuffling around a little bit when I was here, too, you know.
Well, they've really done some great things, I think, today. Yeah, I'm very proud of them. They've also done a couple of things that I'm not sure I understand.
Well, join the club. Oh, John, listen, I always said that the two most sought after and least understood things on this earth was women and money.
Yeah?
Absolutely. There's only one thing I ever felt I really understood about the gals, and that was that they was not the frail little flowers that they're advertised to be. Boy, listen, I never thought there was a thing a guy would get into that a gal wouldn't get into and do just as good a job as the guy would.
Yeah?
Maybe even better, honestly. But I'm very partial to the ladies. I issued from a woman. Did you know that?
Is that right? I did myself.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, for heaven's sake.
Yes, sir.
It works out pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the only way I know of.
John, tell me, come on now, what's going on in the country?
Well, we just concluded a war in Far East Asia.
In Far East Asia?
Yep.
My goodness, when you got to go 7,000 miles to find a war, you really got to be looking. Well, listen, I don't really know nothing except what I read in the newspapers.
Well, you know, Will, aside from the newspapers these days, we've got television to give us bad news.
I know. Yeah. Listen, there were intimations of that when I was around. How'd that thing ever turn out?
Well, I think for a while they considered it kind of a vast wasteland, but it's been improving. Now it's only half vast.
You know, you was just lying in wait for me because I pulled that gas sting on you, wasn't you? Well, of course, that sounds like the Congress in my day. Tell me something, John. Has anybody ever done any intelligence tests on politicians, you know, comparing them to the higher animals like horses and like that?
Well, I don't know, Will, you know, but I think, honestly, that a lot of politicians are good, honest, hard-working men, intelligent. It's the other 98% that give them a bad name.
Yeah, boy, it's too bad the good apple don't infect the rest of the barrel, isn't it? But they're funny guys, John, I swear to goodness. You know, we got a great country here, John.
Yes, sir.
A great country, but it's a great country in spite of our government. Not because of it, see? Every one of them guys and gals down there in Washington is no better, no worse than the folks that voted them in there, and they're a lot better than the folks that didn't vote at all.
Beautiful.
Well, you're only on this earth a very short time, you know. And, I don't give advice, but if I did, I would say just relax.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Have a few laughs. And don't take things too serious, especially yourself.
I can dig that.
Just live your life so you wouldn't be ashamed to sell the family parrot to the town gossip. That's all. You know, John, honestly, I'll bet you really that I, in my lifetime, kidded about everything on this earth. But I always felt if there was no malice in your heart, there could be none in your gags. Now, really, you know, I reckon I joked about every prominent man of my time, but I never met a man I didn't like. Nice
Hi, I am not a professional spokesperson. I am an average citizen like yourself. And I would like to reply to an editorial on this station a few weeks ago when the man said there was far too much violence and you-know-what on television. Well, there may be enough violence, all right, to serve the most savage of tastes. But as far as I am concerned, there is nowhere near enough you-know-what. On crime shows, cops and crooks give us a true-to-life portrayal of vicious beating and killing. When are they going to give us a true-to-life portrayal of you-know-what? On medical shows, a young doctor and an old doctor spend a whole hour trying to cure some dread disease, when anyone can see all the patient is suffering from is a lack of you-know-what. On game shows, people get money for putting on funny costumes and acting generally on the dumb side. I personally feel that Let's Make a Deal would be vastly improved if behind curtain number 1 they would show us a little you-know-what. Even the news suffers. The only one that seems to have sufficient you-know-what is Walter Cronkite. So I say let's have some you-know-what on television. I see my time is up. Before I go, I think I should explain what I mean by you-know-what. I am talking about intelligence. Thank you.